champion. The Bible says that was the champion of the Philistines. He was the biggest. He was the strongest. Everybody, they could take him to any kind of army, to any group of people. He was coming out alive. Nobody wanted to fight him. Everybody was afraid of him. Nobody could defeat the champion, Goliath. Everybody said, whatever you do, fight Goliath's brother if you want to, but whatever you do, don't get in a fight with Goliath. He's the best the Philistines have. Stay away from Goliath. Everybody was afraid. There was an entire army of believers, an entire army of people that loved God, but they were afraid to fight against the army that had Goliath. But when David had the guts, he went and killed the giant. And when the giant fell down, then the rest of the army, could you imagine what it must have looked like for both sides? As David went out to fight Goliath, both sides of the army had to have been laughing. The Israelites and the Philistines, they must have been laughing. Goliath was laughing. He said, oh my goodness, he's cursing David. He says, you're throwing a kid at me. You're throwing some sticks at me like I'm a dog and I'm playing fetch. The Philistines, they would have been laughing. Oh my goodness, what a stupid kid. The Israelites said, oh my goodness, what an ignorant little young man. Eliab said, I don't know who that guy is. And everybody must have been laughing at David. But when the giant fell, could you imagine how all their laughter would have went to silence? And for a few seconds, what just happened? Both sides are trying to assess what just happened. The Philistines said, oh my goodness, if a kid from the Israelite army could kill our very best, then we can't fight with these guys. And they all realized that God was on this side and not on this side. And they all ran away. But the Israelites, they said, oh my goodness, if God had helped this kid kill that giant, then God is going to be with me. And we can go have a victory today. And when the giant fell, the enemy ran, and the rest of the army all of a sudden mustered up this strength, this boldness that they had been lacking for quite some time. And they ran towards the enemy. And it was not a great day just for David on this day, but it was a great victory for all of Israel and for the entire army of the Israelites, because they all were victorious and they all fought that day. If you have the courage to pursue your dream, if you have the courage to have vision and to pursue vision, if you have the courage to be relentless in the face of criticism, as a church, we have courage to just kind of throw that stuff away, then our victory is going to pave the way for others to be victorious. And if we planted our flag here 2 months ago, and if we're here 3 years from now, we're going to be changing the culture in Tempe. And all of a sudden there's going to be other people not afraid to come into this city. There's going to be other churches here. They're not going to be afraid. They're going to be trying to get out. Instead, they're going to be trying to expand in this city. If we make it, if we do our job here in Tempe, we're going to encourage other people to chase their dreams and go plant cities in Portland and in Seattle and in Los Angeles and in Chicago. Our victory paves the way. When we're visionary, when we dream big, we have big vision and we have big victory. It's not only ours. We're making the way for others. They got vision too. They just don't really have, maybe they just don't have the guts. But if you have the guts, man, you can be a difference maker. You can be a trendsetter and a culture changer. That's what I want you to be. And the vision for Illuminate Church is that we are culture changers in Tempe. Can everyone please stand?